Let's talk much more about this and the path forward. Joining me right here on Capitol Hill is one of the lawmakers who voted for the deal, Senator Angus King. He is an independent senator from Maine. Senator, it's great to see you.
Kate, how are you?
I'm doing very well. A late night for you and a busy 24 hours. So you voted for this budget deal. Did you like it? What do you tell your constituents when you head home?
I didn't like that we had to do it. And I also didn't like that it was so short. It's really 3 or 4 months, as you've already reported, and I just don't like this business of trying to govern from crisis to crisis. I thought this morning, it reminds me of the kid, well, everybody's feeling good this morning, but it's like the kid who beat his head against the tree, and somebody said, "Why are you doing that?" He said, "Because it feels so good when I stop." I mean, this has been a brutal couple of weeks and pretty much unnecessary, I think.
What do you tell? When you head back to Maine? What do you tell voters? What they got?
Well, what they got was we're returning a little bit to normalcy, and I think the hidden benefit in this is the instructions to the 2 budget committees to come together and try to solve some of these fiscal issues.
And you're on the conference committee.
I'm one of the conferees from the Senate as a member of the Senate Budget Committee, and it's not going to be easy. I mean, it's not like there are minor differences. The Ryan budget in the House and the budget that was passed by the Senate last March are very different, but there are elements in there that I think can really make a difference. I want to show you something that I think is going to become very famous. This is a USB drive prepared by a group called Fix the Debt. And in it is all of the options for getting this done. And you can click on them, and it's an Excel spreadsheet, and it does all the calculations so you can see what the consequences are. We're going to be making some decisions here, some very important decisions, and for once, we're going to have the data. I think that's a pretty cool way to be able to proceed.
Senator, when you say that it's not going to be easy, that is, if you've watched the budget process over the years, that is such an understatement. You have 2 months now to try to come together on a long-term budget deal, something that Congress has not been able to figure out for years, honestly.
Yep.
How are you going to do it when this is at a time when I don't think anyone's seen Congress so divided?
Well, one of the reasons it's so hard is that some of the core values of the 2 parties are at play. The Republicans want no new revenues whatsoever. The Democrats are very reluctant about entitlement changes. Some mix of that, most people that have looked at this say, is going to be necessary.
I don't want to be cynical. Is there any chance that it's going to get done?
Yeah, I think there is. I think everyone was chastened by this experience. A lot of the talk this morning is who won and who lost. The American people lost. I'm tired of winning and losing around here. It's a sport, and it's too serious for that. I think people feel, the people that are going to be involved in this conference understand the stakes. And to tell you the truth, there's been so much discussion about these budget issues. The pieces are all there. We could do it in a day if people were willing to put their ideological blinders aside when they walk into the room.
That's the hardest thing. I mean, what do you think that folks at home should be prepared for? What could possibly bring
what could possibly go wrong? We know how that goes.
But what could possibly bring the 2 sides together? Completely overhauling the tax code, serious changes to Medicare. What do folks need to be prepared for when you're heading into these budget negotiations?
Well, I think what they need to be prepared for is some things that everybody's not going to like.
Like what?
Well, I think there are likely, in order to ameliorate the sequester, there are likely to be some entitlement changes, not cuts in benefits, but things like, for example, right now on Medicare, the tax stops at about $100,000 a year. In other words, you pay 0 after that as incomes go up. That has the disparity on that has crept up over the years. I think that's going to have to be fixed. There may be some means testing for wealthier Medicare recipients. All of those things.
It's going to be a tough pill to swallow for many Americans. You know that.
Absolutely, but you know we're in the swamp here, and we got to start getting the alligators aside. If it were easy, it would have been done a long time ago.
A long time ago. You're absolutely right. How this fight played out? How does that inform, or how does that impact how you approach the next fight that you're going to see? Because you've got the budget battle right now, and then you have 3-4 months you could be facing another government shutdown and another debt ceiling fight.
Well, you know, as I say, I think everybody's chastened by this experience. Nobody wants to go through it again. It's ridiculous. I mean, we did it with 2 hours to spare. I mean, none of us did our book reports before Sunday night, but this is crazy. And there's no excuse for it. It could have been, it didn't even have to happen in the first place. It could have been resolved some time ago. I think everybody going into this conference understands the stakes, because the centerpiece of the deal really is the conference. Basically, they hit pause. We're going to go back to work. We're not going to break the debt ceiling. But those dates are looming out there in January. And I think people understand we shouldn't be putting the country through this. And as I say, everybody that's worked on this budget stuff, they know what the elements are. We can do it if it's not, you know, I got all the answers, or you know, no
my way or the highway, all the other things that we say all the time.
This country was built on compromise. And if somebody tells you, I'm not going to compromise, what they're really telling you is, I've got all the answers. I'm 100% right. I never knew anybody that was 100% right. So compromise has got to be part of getting this done.
Now, you have a big job on a daily basis. You found out late yesterday you're going to be taking part in this conference committee. Your job just got a whole lot harder.
I was sitting on the floor. I was sitting on the floor of the U.S. Senate when Patty Murray said who the conferees were going to be, and my first thought was, wow, that's pretty cool. My second thought was, holy smoke, we got to get this done.
I don't know if I should say congratulations or I'm sorry, but we'll find out very soon.
Thanks,
Senator,
Kate.
it's great to see you. Thank you very much. We'll have much more to talk about this.